Right.
Boys, we're fucking here. We're doing this. This is an idea I had for weeks ago. Probably
It'd be
not.
super
Not weeks,
awesome if my camera would stop doing that little green thing. Where
your camera's doing that green thing. It doesn't fucking
matter.
matter. We're here. We really out here.
Hello, ladies, gents, and God-killing axolotl.
God-killing axolotls. I know Elijah's one of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Michael, would you like to introduce the podcast?
Sure. So this is the Mediocrity flavored podcast. We are all flavored pretty mediocrity. We're pretty mediocre. My name is Michael. I guess I'm your semi-host, ringmaster, semi-ring leader, because I corralled a bunch of goofs for this.
I'm a goof.
Do we want to go around the table and introduce ourselves, or?
Yeah, Andy, I think you're next. You're sitting at the table.
Oh, it's me. I don't know what kind of introduction I'm supposed to do here.
Just fucking say something.
My name's Drew. Video game player by day, superhero by night.
You single?
Yeah, currently I am. I'm not really good at relationships, so.
Hey man, you know what? That's fine.
I don't know, it's just me.
Alright, sounds good. Okay.
Stunning fucking introduction, man.
Who else?
Hi, everyone. I'm Elijah. I'm apparently sitting next in the table, this metaphorical table we have here.
Yeah, because we can't really be in person right now.
Yeah, we're living in a fucking panhandler. My name is obviously Elijah. I go to
Double gulp cup
or I go to Zoom college currently. I mean, usually I go to
for the fucking Slurpee.
I'm not single. Get fucked, I guess.
Damn.
I don't know what to tell you other than that, man. And don't check out my social medias. I'm not gonna plug them because I don't really exist.
I'm gonna plug them for you.
Oh wait, we get to plug our social.
Well, no, I'm gonna.
Follow me at
for the visual. I'm gonna
YouTube /Drewby. You can follow me at Instagram /A2Chell. My Twitter.
Do you even have a Twitter?
I don't use it, but it's there.
Well, you might as well.
We're plugging social medias.
It's fair.
Send it.
We got one last member of the goof troop here. Who we got?
Yeah, I'm Ty. From an outsider perspective, you should probably call me Pixels because I'm uncomfortable with people referring to me on a first name basis. My Instagram, my art is Pixel Pouch. I'm pretty sure there's a period in there somewhere. You got to figure it out for yourself. I'm too late to find it.
Damn, that's facts. All right, so we've introduced ourselves. And I want to kind of break the ice here with this story.
Bro, why are we the only two with cameras?
I don't know. I know Elijah is a camera. Pixels does not use a camera. He will never use a camera.
No. You guys in the podcast can refer to me as Ty. Everyone else refers to me as Pixel.
Okay, sick.
That's
so Ty does not have a camera. All right, perfect. So we're gonna have to.
I also don't like.
Bro, I love how the fucking
it had to fade in.
It had to fade in like some kind of movie introduction.
Okay.
I am absolutely not showing my face either.
Yeah, that's fine. We have a good idea what you look like with your profile picture.
My girlfriend made it for me. I'm also not single. I actually get fucked.
Yeah, I am though. Okay.
I don't know what you mean by get fucked. Like what? I mean get fucked. I'm having a great time.
We're kind of in good spots right now, and not having to,
I'm taken. Get fucked. Shut up.
The salt is real. Michael, you had a story you wanted to tell.
I do have a story I want to tell you. I might have told this story to you guys before. I definitely know Drew hasn't heard this story. It's oh god, what was his name? What was his fucking name? CeeLo. It was CeeLo. Have I told you about CeeLo?
Possibly.
I don't think I've heard about CeeLo.
For the sake of the podcast, why don't you give us some
This is
background
a great fucking story. So, this was it was pre-pandemic, so it was a while ago. Me and a couple buddies of mine, we were out at, because we're from a small town, that of course means the only place we go out to eat is an Applebee's that has half apps after 10 p.m. So we went there, and it was approaching like almost midnight, right? And my the place was closing, and we were just still there. So then all of a sudden, we hear from across the Applebee's just this huge dude. I'm gonna like get up and do it as for comedic effect. He literally is just standing up, and he goes, "Fuck!" He runs over to us. Literally runs over to us. This has happened. You can talk to anyone. So he screams "fuck!" Runs over to our booth, and he sits down next to us, and he smells of alcohol. He's wasted out of his fucking mind. We have no idea who this guy is. We have no idea where he came from, and he just sits down. So us and our teenage brains were like, let's fuck with this guy. My friend David, my friend David's an interesting fellow. He immediately asked him, "Do you want to know how many times I've jerked off this year?" Because of course he keeps track. Either way, there's plenty of good things that happen, but I think the most important thing that happened that night was my buddy. He looks over at my buddy Jason, and he goes, "Jason, you want to get high?" And then Jason goes, Not at the moment, no. Not right now." And he goes, look. If you need something, I got you, okay? Got perks, mollies, Zans.
Oh, Mike's mic just went out.
That's exactly how we said it. It was just Zans, but like super, just like elongated for no reason.
Yeah, you lost us at Zan.
Yes, whatever. That's how he said it. So, and then another thing that happened was, he looked back at David and he goes, "I'm gonna get you some pussy," and we're like, "What the fuck?" And fucking, he looks at David and he goes, "Yeah, I got this Egyptian ass fuck, come in the mouth, throat, everything," and we're all just like, "Oh my fucking
How
God."
old were you for this?
What?
How old were you for this?
This was like either last year, maybe like we were like I was definitely like 18, so this is last year.
So this guy really just came up to you and said,
he was like at least 35. He was at least 35. But see, another thing is he didn't know that we were like younger, because me and my buddies John and Ryan, we had facial hair, so he thought we were like mid-20s at least. But that's not the case. And he was just like, "Man, I got this Egyptian." Oh, do we have someone else?
Jacob.
Welcome, Jacob.
Jacob's joining our adventure.
Mediocrity flavored podcast.
Jacob's our first guest / coming
First
late
guest.
to the party.
Yeah, a little late. I had to do my hair.
I got you.
Oh, boy.
I got you.
Hey.
So as I was saying, this guy
continue, Mike.
offered to give us an Egyptian woman to sleep with, but he had to like the Applebee's staff was like coming over to the guy and they're like, "Dude, you gotta like leave these guys alone. Like they're not doing anything," and we're just fucking with them the whole time, and it's hilarious. So that he gets up to go to the bathroom and we just run away. Oh yeah, we found out his name was CeeLo. He actually gave us his phone number. We tried contacting him afterwards, and like half of it was recorded secretly. I don't have it, but but half of the encounter was recorded, and it was fucking brilliant. That's my story about CeeLo, the drunk man from I think North Carolina who came up to us at an Applebee's.
Now that made me
if we
think
wanted
of
any
something.
pussy.
offering
Offering pussy and
traffic an
drugs.
Egyptian
Hard drugs.
So recently, I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine when I visited Southern Methodist.
Was this when you were in Texas?
Yeah, this is when I was in
Okay.
Texas. So like SMU is in Dallas. So when I was visiting this dude, or it was not like the friend that I was visiting, it was one of his friends. I was like, just
A
vibing
friend
with
of a
this
friend.
dude. Like it was like an after party type situation. we were like at someone's Airbnb. We were like hanging out. And I started talking with this dude about like, you know, just middle school memories for no reason at all. Like, first of all, I don't know what it is, but I feel like I low-key peaked in middle school. Middle school was fucking brilliant. It was great.
You peaked in middle school?
I feel like that's not a good time to peak, but okay.
No, it's just a joke, but I had a great time in middle school, right? But I was talking to this dude, so our middle school is like, we had like a trip, like every like year of middle school, right? Like, so like fucking 6th grade, you went to like Colebrook, this place in like Connecticut. 7th grade, I forget. I think we went to just like Rhode Island or something like that. And then 8th grade, we had like the big Boston trip, right? This was like the climax of like your middle school career. At Middlesex,
I wouldn't say
right?
middle school career, but
Right? No. Like this was like supposed to be like the huge
like
event,
the big kahuna, if you will.
Yeah, they like, you know, they talk about it for like all 3 years. It's this whole big thing. So I was talking to him, and I have 2 stories for you. I have my story, and then I have the ridiculous story that this man decided to share with me.
Okay, perfect.
Afterward. So the first story is my own, so when we went to like Boston, we stayed in this like big hotel, right? So it was one of those hotels where it was like indoors, you know what I mean? Like there was like a portion of like the hotel that was like indoors, because like, you know, Boston gets cold. So like it was like a U-shaped hotel, and then like this giant glass thing over like connecting the 2 like sides, and then there was a pool in the middle, right?
Yeah.
So like it was like, you know, comfortably like 75 degrees in there. But this is like the middle of November, it's cold outside. So I don't know, I guess they had it up or whatever. And you got to like choose your roommates. So the guys stayed on one half of the U, and the girls were on the other half when they like planned it out.
Yeah.
So, me being, you know, the dickhead that I am, our friend group got stacked on top of each other.
Oh,
like both floors, right?
I think I see where this is going.
So there's me, my friend Carter, and my friend Rob, right? And then there's under us, there's like you know, a couple of the kids that I won't like, you know, say their names because like no one will fucking know what I mean. But essentially, for like 4 rows of like rooms, there's like all of our friends, and then under it is all of our friends. And so I see Carter peek out of like the balcony and like look down, and he like grabs one of like the fucking like rocks. There was like these little rock beds with like fake plants in them.
Sure.
Grabs one of the rocks and he leans over and chucks it at our friend's window to like to like get him out, right?
Please tell me the shatters. Please tell me the window shatters.
Yeah. So they come out, they come out, they look up, they realize it's us. They're like, yo, check who's in the next room. And so they're like this like you know, conga lines, like all the bottom rows. We start chucking like rocks at like the windows next to us to see who's in the rooms next to us. And eventually 16 dudes are just outside of their rooms, and
just throwing
Carter
rocks.
Carter is like, dude, we don't have like any actual rocks up here. There was like literally like 3. There was like a little flower pot, but the first floor had like whole rock beds. So we lowered Carter down the entire fucking the entire floor to start shoveling rocks and tossing them up to like all of the fucking
Fucking Mission Impossible coming down from the ceiling to grab a bunch of rocks, and you just
Like,
lift them back up.
like tossing them up to the dudes and like the
I
floor
like
was
to imagine that he
full.
like had them all in his shirt, right? And he like scoop it up with his shirt, and he had just like a bunch of fucking pebbles in his shirt.
No, what do you mean putting him in his shirt? He's just shoveling them into his mouth, and then he yanks on the rope, he's pulling back up.
Well, no, there was no rope. It was us. So to get him back up, it was Rob holding me by my waist and me leaning over to grab him by the hands and pull him up.
So if your underwear wasn't like top notch, you would have wedgied yourself and then just fallen.
Oh, probably.
Yeah,
And all the rocks are
God.
gone. No more rocks for no more rocks for anyone.
Oh,
after
no.
this whole production is over, we have like all the rooms have like, you know, their rocks, right? Oh, my camera froze. All the rooms have like their rocks, and you know, we didn't know what to do with them. We were just like kind of throwing them at each other and shit like that. So we all start throwing them in the pool, right?
Oh.
Just like seeing how big of a splash we can make. And one of our friends hucks a rock all the way across and hits one of the fucking doors on the other side. So this poor girl named Kelly opens the door. She's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? So naturally, us being 8th grade dudes, we start.
I forgot you were in 8th grade.
We start hawking up.
Oh
And
no!
so they close the door. A couple other girls go out, and unfortunately, another girl who was like kind of popular and was like pretty popular through high school. Her name was Lindsay. She comes out. She starts like egging on the dudes, right? To like, because she didn't like this other girl to like keep throwing rocks and like messing with her window. So this kid had been like, his dad was like the coach for like our
Football.
like little league football,
Yeah,
and he was like the quarterback of our football team in high school. This kid winds up and fucking hucks a rock, shatters the window. Shatters the window.
No!
I like to imagine that was the last year that Boston trip happened.
Fucking brilliant.
We ran back in our rooms. We were all like, all right, it's time for bed. The next morning, we wake up and like, we're going to like our roll call. We just see these, like the girls in that room getting flamed.
They didn't
got away with
snitch on
it?
you? They didn't snitch or anything?
They tried to, and literally fucking.
Were they just like, they're at
they
the
were
other
like,
side of the
Lindsay-
fucking the
Yeah,
hotel?
we were over there. We were on the second floor. How are we gonna get rocks to throw at your fucking window?
That's so fucking funny.
I felt so bad that this poor girl, and then I thought that
my
was a
God.
good story, right?
And this guy,
This kid Tommy, he told me the most ridiculous story I've ever heard. So on his 8th grade trip, I don't know, he lived in like Denver, so they didn't like go to Boston or anything. I forget where they went, but essentially they went to some like old colonial part or something like that, and he and his friend found like, or I think it was like a Universal Studio or something like that. It was like some kind of like movie production place where, and they got like an Indiana Jones like whip, like a
Oh,
whip,
fucking no way.
right? So they both had like these like whips, and so they go back to their hotel, and they're doing dickhead shit. They're like cracking the whip inside the room and whatever, and they like lean out the window. Keep in mind, they're in 8th grade.
Oh no.
They lean over and they see prostitutes on the corner.
Oh
oh my
Oh,
god.
no.
Oh no.
So Tommy's friend starts like, heckling like the fucking prostitutes. So he's like, hey, come up here and whatnot like that. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
They yell up, they're like, what room, what floor? And he tells them, the prostitutes come to their fucking...
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Are you fucking kidding?
They come to the door. He knocks, they knock, he opens, or like Tommy opens the door. He didn't know what to do, so Tommy's just like, fucking come in, I guess. And they're like, okay, like, what do you, like, they like, I don't know, said something like, what do you want to do? And fucking, his friend didn't know what to do either, so his friend just cracks the whip. And both of them just, hands and knees, start crawling into the room.
Oh my god.
And so, essentially, one of their, like, teachers that was, like, on the trip, fucking, like, noticed what was, like, happening, because, like, he heard, like, the whip crack 1,000 times and, like, the door open and all that stuff. The teacher walks into the room.
Oh.
There's 2 prostitutes on all floors. His friend Danny with a whip, and Tommy's just there on the bed. He walks over and fucking grabs them by the back of the collar, and he's like, let's go. And just drags them out of the room. And
Wait,
said,
hang on. Important clarification. Who does he drag out of the room? The students or the
Yeah, the students or the
prostitutes? Because that's a very different story.
The prostitute.
Okay. I figured, but like also.
They're like, we're not
Wait,
getting, like,
so-
we didn't get paid. They're like, they're in 8th grade. Threw them out.
So wait, no. Did he have them like fucking standing up? Like he carried them like suitcases, just like.
Essentially, yeah.
Alright, so we're changing the name of our band to Prostitute Briefcase. I think that's the way to go. Oh my god. Dude, okay, like, those stories are so much better than anything I have to offer. By the way, sorry I came late.
It's the most, like, ridiculous story I could have ever.
I have a ridiculous story. I mean, I already shared a story.
You have to understand, like,
Mhm.
like, this kid knew exactly what happened, so he was describing it in full detail, and we're both sitting there, fucking drunk out of our minds,
Double gulp cup. and
and this dude is just fucking, like, giving me all the details, like, this happened. He's like, dude, he fucking slammed the whip, and they just went to all fours. They were perfectly trained, and I was like, holy shit.
I have another story. I mean, I don't know if I should share it considering I already did share a story. But it's very short, but it cracks me up every fucking time. So I knew this kid in high school named Tony. I'm not gonna say his last name for innocency purposes, but we were like all going out to lunch or something, and we all were like sharing stories, and then he decided to share I think the funniest story I've ever heard, just ever. So this Tony was like, so you know when you were like a kid and you would like shower with your dad, and we're like, okay, first of all, already like we're you know touching
hold on a second.
some weird territory. No, but apparently when like he was like a toddler, like 4 or 5 years old, he would shower with his dad.
I think that's fine.
I mean,
think
yeah, that's
fine.
fine, dude.
It's
Yeah, it's fine.
So one day when they were taking a shower together, little 4 or 5 year old Tony just starts pissing on his dad's leg.
Why?
So then Tony's dad is like, you know what? I can retaliate. I have another thing I can do. So he turns around, trying to fart on him.
No!
He took a shit on his chest. He looks at
The kid must have been scarred.
Tony started crying, and his dad was like, "Oh god, oh god."
I'm pretty sure that qualifies as abuse somehow. I don't know.
This is the funniest fucking thing anyone's ever told me.
What? Like, okay, here's the funny part, is I'm thinking of, like, in any way, how does this correlate to the story? Like, I was gonna share something about, like, one of the school trips that I went on and stayed over.
It's just,
and Mike's over here.
I was just saying, like, oh, it was a story another person told me, and I thought it was fucking hilarious. That's what I was relating to. But,
Oh my god.
What are you supposed to do with that information? Great, you just shit on your son's chest. You have to live with that for the entire.
That guy's probably going into his grave, and he's probably gonna be like, and the one thing that I regret in life is
fucking
not realizing that was not a fart in the shower when my kid was 4.
Oh god.
Oh
god,
my
what did
God.
I do?
No, but like they're just. I have so many questions about all the stories fucking told.
Okay,
and-
start rattling them off.
No, hang on. Before he has any questions, I'm gonna put
Christ, man.
I'm gonna put one of my stories about my school trip.
Okay, go
So
for
I
it.
didn't realize this until years later. But like in high school, I took like 6 years straight of Italian. I couldn't tell you a lick of Italian right now. Like if I went to Italy, I would be lost as hell. Like I forgot almost all of it. But we went to Italy, you know, in high school because it was like, you know, you take enough Italian, go to Italy. So we're like trying to figure out all the rooms and shit. And I get put in with these 2 guys who, you know, I kind of knew, but like I kind of didn't know. And it was weird because like I like sort of knew everyone on the trip, but not, like it wasn't my friends. Like
Yeah.
it was like all the popular kids and whatever. I was like the loner in high school. So I get put in the room with these 2 guys, and we're all just, you know, talking and hanging out. And you know, it's great. You know, the trip goes fine. We go to, you know, Spain and Italy and shit. I'm laying in bed like, I don't know, a couple months ago, and I'm like, huh, I wonder how those guys are doing now. And then it fucking hits me. So I'm going through my Tinder, right, and I see one of the guys, and I realize The teacher said, let's put all 3 gay kids in the same fucking room. I was like, I realized this later. I wasn't out at the time. I was, I'm bisexual, but I wasn't out at the time. They said, look at this flamboyant little kid. We're putting him in with the other 2 gay guys. And I'm like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, my teachers knew I was gay before I did. I'm like,
How do you get
what the
typecasted
fuck?
in your own life?
That's facts.
I could not tell you, dude. I could not tell you. All the girls in high school were like, oh, you're like my gay best friend who isn't gay, which, was a really shitty thing to say to me in high school, because that killed my chance of dating anyone. But, like, they knew before me. It was so funny. Oh my god, and that same trip, like, the dumbest thing happened. It's like the simultaneous revelation, like, years after, you're, like, sitting in bed and you wake up and you're like, oh my god. So we were in the hotel room, right? And I was reminded of this story when Drew was telling me about, like, the throwing the rocks at the windows and shit. I was like, the windows were open in the hotel, and there were some kids on the other side who were also visiting from another school. And we were talking back and forth, and we were like, yeah, we're from X, Y, and Z school and all this shit. And the girl's like, hey, you should come up and hang out with us in our room. And my 2 roommates were like, nah, I'm good. And I'm like,
come on.
Now, of course, I realize exactly why, but, like, I was like, I don't know if we can get lit out of our room, whatever. They're like, nah, come up. And I'm same time I realized that I got put with the 2 gay guys, I was like, fuck, I could have gotten laid on the trip where I was in the room with the 2 other gay guys. It was like the most incredibly unexpected sequence of events that just all compounded. So, that kind of sets the stage of, like,
Yeah.
comparing the high school experiences. I think Drew stands alone
Drew,
in his area.
that was middle school,
whatever the
though.
fuck your friend Tony's
That was a
doing now.
middle
Like,
oh yeah, I don't know what
Tommy?
Tony's doing now. I think he's
Tommy?
fine.
I mean, listen. All I've realized now from listening to all your stories is why the fuck were you guys like fucking menaces? Like who hurt you?
I mean,
I
like,
wasn't a menace. I was just gay.
Okay,
Like,
first of all, I didn't
Don't get me
get
wrong, I
shit
did
on.
some very,
I didn't
very-
get shit on. Second of all, I was just at Applebee's, dude. I didn't. It
Yeah,
wasn't
that's the
even
problem, Michael. That's the part that makes you a menace. Why the fuck are you going to Applebee's?
because there's
Of
nowhere
all
else to
the-
go. I live in a small town.
Yeah, but like, just don't.
I mean,
That's
that's
fair.
the thing. I can't. I don't really have any defenses. Like it's all me. Like I have a plethora of stories like that. Like the small one. There was a point in time in 8th grade where me and like my best friend at the time, Davis, we had like this little like stupid prank war, right? Where we would like prank each other's lockers and shit like that, and just like do stupid shit. And at one point. I thought it would be funny to grab all of the spaghetti from my house, like all just like the boxes, right?
the
And I knew his
spaghetti.
locker combo, and he was like all the way down the hall from me, and like like the Office meme where it's just Jim looking through the fucking
Of
blinders.
the rafters or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the blinds, I should say.
Essentially, during the middle of class, I went to the bathroom. I went to my locker, grabbed all the noodles, like all the boxes. I opened the top and I rigged it in the top of his locker and closed it so that when he opened it, all the noodles, just not the boxes,
Just the noodles, like the dry noodles.
Oh, wow.
Did you think
Yeah.
of
now
cooking
hang on.
them
What
first?
kind of noodles? What kind of noodles are we talking here? We
Spaghetti.
talking spaghetti? We talking
Spaghetti.
rigatoni? We talking?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
All right. Okay.
So we're-
good.
Spaghetti noodles, just
I
dry
think it would have been
spaghetti
Important
a
distinction
lot
there.
better if they were cooked noodles, and it was just like
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Like just cooked noodles just fall out of his fucking
fall
locker.
out.
He lands
Look,
right on his
the-
pants, just like
the,
the fuck.
the way that they fell made it fantastic. So I put all of them there. I closed the locker, and then after class, I just kind of sat back and I waited. I was just like, he's gonna open it, and they're all gonna fall out. He opened it. They all fell at his feet into this giant noodle teepee shape. And he was just sitting there like, what? And this super annoying teacher, Mr. McArdle, dude, like, fuck Mr. McArdle. Everyone,
What a name.
everyone's just like looking at Davis like, what the fuck? Mr. McArdle comes out and like looks at what's happening. He's like, what the hell is this? And like freaks out. Davis looks at it. He's like, this is not my problem. Closes his locker and leaves.
brilliant.
Mr. McArdle's just standing there with a pile of noodles. And I'm sitting there looking at Davis walking away, and like him not knowing it's Davis's, and just like looking, and Mr. McArdle is just like,
Fucking what?
"What the fuck is
What
this?"
is this? Noodles? Spaghetti?
That reminds me of that Green Tech story where the guy just leaves a pineapple fucking everywhere, and then the guy like goes to a supermarket like 10 years later, and he sees a pineapple on the shelf and has a fucking breakdown. It's so funny.
Okay, I have two more stories, but I want to say this. Elijah and Ty, do you have stories you want to say as well, or?
No, I wasn't a villain growing up.
Well, no, we're not. This isn't even. Okay, first
What do you
of all,
mean a villain? I shotgunned an Arizona iced tea can in the middle of my school hallway. That's not being a villain. That's being
one.
a villain.
Okay, here's the thing, though.
Villain.
I'll demonstrate by saying my story.
I shotgunned a Bud Light in the middle of the high school cafeteria, but like.
That's a menace. Arizona, no, you're fine. Bud Light in the middle of the high school
here's another thing,
cafeteria.
Honestly, these are giving me such good memories of shit that I used to
I can tell you my stories and show you how I'm not a villain. All right, so this is another trip story actually. So, in my junior year of high school, I was in my school's jazz band, and we would compete. And what we did was we went to like fucking, we went to Disney. We went to Disney to compete, and my hotel room was me and my 3 best friends at the time.
So hang on, this is already a band story, like a
This is already
band
a
geek
band
story.
story.
So you
Yeah.
already know the path this is going down.
No, this is a short story. Literally, fucking, I think it was like the first night. I knocked out almost immediately. My friends decided it'd be a great idea to just like slap my ass while I'm asleep. And in my sleep, I said thank you. This video, I think I still have the video. But it's literally just, it's my friend going, shh, and he would go, and I just went, thank you. It was funny. It was
Like, that's the kind of shenanigans that I feel like would have happened in college if we were there for a little longer in the dorm. Like,
sure.
100%.
And then the other story I had was about my friend's dad. So he was telling me about how my friend's name is Kyle. He was talking about how his dad in high school. This is very similar to the spaghetti story. So what they did was like as like a senior prank type deal. They went to
Oh my god, this is. Keep going.
They went to like a seafood market and they
Oh,
bought
no.
a shit ton of crabs. And they just let the crabs loose in their high school, and then they would just like fucking they would just walk down the hallway and just see like a fucking like a troop of crabs, and they were just chilling and walking around.
That's fucking sick.
They were
dude.
live crabs, and they were just
That's
like
so cool.
and it was,
They're just chilling there,
the
dude.
senior prank. We actually, for my senior year in high school, we didn't have a senior prank, but my junior year, the senior prank was really bad. Because what they did was they bought a bunch of fish, and they left it in the gym lockers in the boys' locker room. So it festered there for an entire summer, and we would go into the fucking locker room, and it would just smell like rotted flesh and rotted fish. It was disgusting, and good on them, honestly. It was good shit. I think the closest thing to a senior prank that happened my senior year of high school was my good friend Nitty. He wore a romper. Like a girl's romper. He just wore it.
He just wore a romper.
Yeah, he wore a
It's
romper.
a romp him, actually. You know, there's the male version now.
Yeah.
I have a few great stories now. If we get to talk about what our parents did,
Oh no.
so 2 things. I'll just give you 2 of like the stories that my dad has.
Well, it wasn't even my parents. It was my friend. It was my friend Kyle's dad. That was it. I mean,
Yeah. So the first one is, listen, my dad was like the jock of like jocks and like, you know,
Really?
like the fucking 70s, you know what I mean? Like, you know,
Mhm.
he like, this is all the fucking like, you know, old time movies or like old, like, you know, 70s movies. There's always like the jock, you know what I mean? Like, you know, that guy, that was my dad. My dad was, you know, 3-sport varsity captain, 2-sport All-American. You know what I mean? Like, so it is chemistry class. So what they did is, you know how like if you get like any chemicals on you, they throw you in the power shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. Well, I mean, obviously keep going, but I remember I pulled it once just for shits and giggles, and it was funny.
So my dad and his friends grinded up chalk, right? In the middle of like a chemistry like lab experiment. They like grounded up chalk, put it in their hand. They went up to this kid. They went, There's not chemicals on him! Give me the power shower! Bro, this
Get in the power shower.
Get him in the shower! He hasn't been decontaminated yet!
Fucking angel dust, like.
Fucking Tinkerbell just.
That's so good. Get him in the power shower.
Okay, but like, oh my god. So,
Wait,
Another
did he have to
thing. So,
shower
my
with his
dad-
dad too, or was that just
what?
Did he? Did
He had to
did the
power
kid
shower
have
with
to-
his dad.
Did he have to
That's-
power shower with his dad, or just?
No. But so I guess when my dad was in college, like he had like not college. When he was in high school, like he had like his class was like super engineering driven, right? Like for some reason, like that class was just like everyone was like good engineers. You know what I mean? They all took like all the engineering classes. It was like super like weird type thing. Like not my dad specifically, but his class for their senior prank. I don't know how they managed to do this, and to this day, it's puzzled me when he told me this, and he was like, I really don't know how they did it either. It's puzzled me. Their senior prank was they disassembled the dean's car and assembled it on the roof of the school.
How the fuck?
To this day, it's puzzled me on how they managed to do that. But
They
did.
probably needed like a pit stop crew where they were just fucking like everyone
Yeah,
did
you
one
know.
thing.
All right, you two bring the tires. You two bring the
That's what I
the
mean.
trunk.
Like, their whole class disassembled this fucking car and reassembled it
That's
on the
fucking
roof.
brilliant.
Oh my god, that's so fucking sick though. Like,
Speaking of
imagine being so helpless to like your car is just. How the fuck did he get it down? Like,
Oh, I have no idea. I think they got like a crane or something like that, or like something like that.
so
But
fucking
oh
funny.
my God.
Another thing, like,
wait, hold on. The last
Yeah.
thing I wanted to say is on top of like the fucking like shotgunning a beer in my cafeteria. So I used to do this thing in my senior year, and I don't know why I did this. I just thought it was funny. Because so many people went along with it that it made it funny.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I would stand on the table in the middle of lunch, right in like the senior section,
Oh god.
and I like all the seniors would be like, "Shh."
Shh. Let the man work. Let the man work.
Me on the fucking table, I was just like, "Everyone, shut up!" And I would pick a random like Disney theme song for the day, or like Nickelodeon theme song. So like sometimes it would be like, oh, I'd just be like, and the entire cafeteria would be like, make it count, please.
Play it straight, don't look back, don't hesitate.
Fucking
Like, was there
entire
any like
cafeteria.
teachers that they just be like?
The teacher just be like, can you fucking stop?
I would think if I was the
Oh my
teacher there, I
God.
would have probably joined in. Let's be real.
That's got like the same energy as like the theater kids in the like the Denny's at like 3 in the morning
Oh,
after their
come on.
show, and they're
Yeah,
just singing, being
Speaking-
annoying as shit. Everyone else is
speaking
like,
of,
dude, I'm on
uh,
crack right now. Like, who else goes to Denny's at 3 in the morning?
Speaking of
So,
being
like,
loud at Denny's, have you guys seen
Me
the
in the
video
middle of the fucking
the?
cafeteria, like, ooh, I know you see me standing there, and
Everybody just goes nuts. But no, I was saying, have you guys seen the Denny's Super Slam video where at like 2 a.m. at a Denny's, some people had a
Yeah, the
concert,
metal band.
and they had like a mosh pit and everything. It was just in a Denny's, and then you like
Yup.
the camera would like pan over, and there's just like an old guy fucking eating breakfast, and then you
That's the most Denny's thing ever,
so
I think.
good. God, I really didn't do anything cool my senior
Okay,
year.
hold on. Another thing.
I didn't
the
really
year
do anything cool like ever.
The year before me, though, was the year that they installed like the speakers in like the cafeteria,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Like they installed like a sound system, right? So like we had like like the intercom around the school, and like it was in the cafeteria, but they installed like essentially they redid the cafeteria my junior year. And so like it like they repainted it, all that shit. Didn't really look different. They just put new fucking chairs and new tables and like
Yeah, the usual
you know,
stuff.
like repainted it and put in like the speakers and like the sound system, right? And so this kid named Liam in the grade above me, during one of my frees, for like 4 months, they were trying to figure out how to fucking use this thing, right? It had like a passcode. Liam, one fateful day, puts in the right combination.
He just guesses it,
Greatest
right?
fucking thing to ever happen.
Holy shit.
You know, he's trying all like, you know, the school years, like, you know, first fucking, like, you know, first principals year, like shit like that. All that random shit. I forget what the actual thing was. I think it was like something about like the 70s or something like that. Something about like the school. Or no. It was like 2005. Like 2005 was like the year that like the school got like redone. Like they put a bunch of add-ons and shit to it.
Mhm.
So, like, you know, he puts that shit in. It works. Does anyone know Take a Step Back by XXXTentacion?
Vaguely, yeah.
Not a little bit.
Middle of... I shall play it.
Oh well, I don't want to get to it.
Well, we'll just give.
Hang on,
we'll,
I'll pull it up on Spotify. Just
yeah,
personally.
we'll pull it up and then we can get it go. We can let it go.
Don't want to hit any copyright issues in here, do we?
I could just edit it out or bleep it or whatever.
What song is it?
Just play it for yourself. Don't play it through the thing.
How do I use the other bot?
Oh, it's like what is it? It would be
It's
the greater than sign.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, greater than P.
Other one. I got it. I'll do it.
In the middle of lunch.
You played this over the loudspeaker?
In the middle of lunch. The entire fucking.
Okay, I know this song. I didn't know the. I didn't know the fucking the name of it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's brilliant.
In the middle of fucking lunch, Liam just on his phone. He's like, "I got the Bluetooth, boys." Sends it.
Oh
The fucking school was like, "Who the fuck did it? Like, what's happening?" Meanwhile, Liam's just sitting there pissing himself in the back of the seat, playing songs, like the worst songs.
I would have played Ram Ranch.
No. You know what the best one is? 216.mp3. This is like the most completely absurd song ever. Hang on. It's just...
Oh,
It's this shit. It's just dissonant noises. Set to like a trap beat.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a classic.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a classic.
It's a banger, you know? I remember my friends and I, so we went on a walk, right, at like 4 in the morning, because this was like last summer when COVID was like a thing. And so we're walking around at 4 in the morning because we hadn't seen anyone. We're like, okay, mask up.
Thing, what?
I know, but like,
It's very
back
much
when it was
still a
like
thing.
first a thing, and everyone was like, stay inside, don't see anyone. And we're just like, okay, we're gonna mask up and just go walk around because no one's out at 4 in the morning. So we're like doing push-ups in the middle of the street and shit, and we're also baked, like off our ass. And so we're sitting just in the middle of the street. Someone plays that song, and everyone is just vibing to it so hard. Like, it's only because we were stoned out of our minds that it was like actually like a banger. But like everyone was just vibing to it super hardcore, and like I'm pretty sure like a cop car pulled by, just like looked at us and just kept going. Like he like it's the equivalent of walking into a room and then doing a complete 180 and walking out.
It's brilliant. Just brilliant.
Absolutely amazing. A masterpiece, truly.
I'm trying to think if I have.
Johann Sebastian Bach could not write 216.mp3.
All I'm saying is, man, Johann Sebastian Bach had a fat ass. I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't.
You know
I
what?
don't know. Sure.
Double cheeked up.
on a Thursday afternoon.
we were planning for my senior prank. Me and the guy Nitty I talked about before. We were planning on playing a concert on the roof, and we would just get everyone up there and just fucking play a set. I think it'd be funny, but we never did. It's a shame, but because we were like, okay, first of all, how would we get everything on the roof, and second of all, how would we get it back down and not get caught? You know, like fucking. But no, that was a plan. It didn't fall through, but it was pretty good. Yeah, it was me and the romper guy. So.
Romper.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Elijah, you're back.
Yes.
Yeah, I was talking about how my senior prank, we didn't have one my senior year of high school. The closest thing was some kid named Nitty. Well, we call him Nitty. He just wore a romper.
Good for him.
Yeah. But our plan was me and him we were gonna play a concert on the roof.
Okay.
I thought it was funny. So.
I never did a senior prank. I never thought they were like.
You
Cool,
didn't think
like,
they were a real
funny
thing?
stuff.
Yeah, me
No,
neither.
they just weren't like a thing. I mean, the year before I graduated. No, it was the year I got to the senior prank was them calling it a bomb threat. So that was a fun. Yeah.
Fucking
no, that was,
Christ! That's a prank.
Yeah, that's a prank.
Yeah, that actually very similar thing happened my freshman year. Someone,
Of course he has.
yeah, someone my freshman year, like, I don't know if it was like a senior prank or anything like that, but I do know in the middle of my freshman year of high school, someone, wrote on the bathroom, like, stall or some shit, like, a time with a gun, like a drawing of a gun,
Oh my
and like
God.
a time on like the date, and like
Baller.
someone saw it and like reported it, and like the entire school went into a meltdown. I'm not even kidding.
I'm sure.
Me and this girl, Addie, who was literally a junior at the time, like we were in like one of those she was taking a class
I'm
that like
actually gonna be
normally
right
freshmen
back.
take. Like,
Please
it was
continue.
like Latin 1.
Return shortly.
She was in my class, and so like I sat next to her the entire like year, so I was like kind of friends with this girl, and literally that goes on the loudspeaker. I look at her, we're like, let's go. We hop in her car and just left the school, and later found out that literally half the school did the same thing, and then they canceled school like by the half of the day.
Nice.
That reminds me of the time.
Yeah,
So
it
at my
was
school,
a scary time.
yeah, at my school we only had one like threat when I was there, and it was because oh god, this is gonna be a whole shitstorm. I'm trying to remember exactly who it was. It was like this super like.
Wait, if everyone's dipping, shouldn't we just like end the fucking podcast?
I'm gonna share this one last story because it is the funniest shit. So this guy was like the most super far right, like he was like almost a Nazi, like, and I don't throw that around lightly. Like he genuinely was like the most white power kid in our high school, right? You want to know who he was in a relationship with? The girl who wore the tail, the tail girl. The most far right dude was dating the tail girl, and it was the funniest shit because then she came out as like gender fluid or something, and he was like, I'm straight, yada yada yada, and they were like, the stereotypical couple of like, holding hands in the hallways and like doing all this shit. And one day they were both absent, and then like the next day the school, like, we had like it was like, oh, school is canceled. We later found out that he like planned to bring like a gun to school or something to show his love for his girlfriend, and it was the most out of pocket shit that has ever happened. The Nazi and the furry were in a relationship, and they made a shooting threat, and then they both got expelled. It was absurd. To this day, I still cannot believe that this happened in like my high school. But I guess that's like the public school experience or whatever of like.
Yeah, public school's a weird fucking time.
Facts, just
Public
straight
school
up.
doesn't exist. It's quite possibly the worst like time period in American history. It just doesn't work on any level.
I mean, the education system is trash, but I had fun in high school.
Well, everyone has fun in high school. But it doesn't work. And all the fun from high school comes from messing with the system.
Yeah, it's because everyone's like, everything sucks so much that let's screw around with it.
No, the worst period of high school was the Jewel period, where everyone turned the bathroom into like the Jewel bar, and I hated it.
That was the worst.
Andy,
That was great.
You know, see, I knew Andy was gonna say it's great because he was probably one of those kids.
Oh yeah, totally.
No, but they literally shut down.
You used to have like fucking call outs for that shit. Are you kidding me? Like middle of lunch, fucking.
I feel like Drew was one of those kids who says as Drew takes a rip of his jewel.
Like fucking
All
send a
right,
text
I'm
in the
back,
group
gentlemen.
chat. Yo, B3, hit it up right now. All right. I'm actually gonna head out for a little bit. I'll play game 2.
Imagine.
I have another story to tell. This is another quick one, but it's very funny.
Alright.
So my freshman year of high school.
I'll be back in a bit. All right, boys.
Yeah, go for it.
Yep.
So
was
my high school did my freshman year they did a production of Shrek the Musical. This is
Like you do.
So in this production of Shrek the Musical, we had I think he was a junior at the time, is a kid named Jordan. Jordan, he took his acting very seriously. You know, he was going to school for acting. He went to community college for acting. He was very determined by it. And at the time, he was dating this girl. I have no clue who this fucking girl is, but I know she was doing it. So the event that occurred was, I think they were doing a thing. I wasn't in this. I didn't join until my junior year, but they were fucking doing something, and it was just like super like I guess the girl was like, I'm not gonna do it. I don't know. I'm not that good. Jordan fucking turns to her, screams, "You are good!" and slaps her right across the face. What?
Man woke up Chris Breezy. What the fuck? Oh
It's
boy.
so good. It's so good.
Wait, Mike, you missed my story about how the Nazi dated the furry and they made a shooting threat and then got expelled together.
As you do.
You failed to include
As you
the
do,
together
dude.
part, I think.
I think this was a good first episode of Mediocrity flavored.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was anything but mediocre. We touched on all of the dumb shit that we did in high school.
Yeah. And
Oh, I didn't have
some
anything
kid
fun in high
got
school.
shit on by his dad.
Yeah. The moral of the day.
The moral of the day is if you're showering with your son, don't trust
Don't
the
shit
fart.
on him.
Don't trust the fart. Oh
Never
my
trust
God.
the fart. Never trust the fart.
This has been Mediocrity flavored. See you all next time.
The salute. That's how we're gonna end it off. Right there. The salute.